All right, replacing an air filter on a 455. A 455 will have, aside from just the canister itself, there's three very important things for the air filter. The first is on the outside, and that would be the ejector boot right here, which this machine does not have at the moment. Also, inside the air canister, there's a primary and secondary filter. The primary filter is going to filter out any large stuff, and the secondary filter is going to filter out any small stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit here and take apart this air system and show you the result of not having a dust ejector cap on the spout right here. And so I'm going to set the camera up, hopefully. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and turn it off and then I'll set it up. All right, so to take this air filter apart, what we're going to do, there's this wing nut here. On the back of the wing nut, there's a rubber O-ring. You want to make sure that rubber O-ring doesn't go missing, because that O-ring is what causes, or what keeps large debris from going into the air filter. So there's the canister, end of the canister. Here's our wing nut with the O-ring on it. And put it off to the side. Next, you can see the primary air filter. And I'll pick you up here and show you exactly how dirty this primary air filter is. All that grass and everything else in there is what happens when you have a dust ejector cap missing. So I'm going to take that air filter off. To do that, if you can see, let me get down there. There's another wing nut inside. We're going to take that off. This filter right here, I've already had it off. I thought I had already done a video of me taking it off, but I cannot find it. And maybe I've already put it online or something, but I don't know. But this filter right here, I'm pretty sure is original to the tractor. It has never been changed, which is really unfortunate. So this wing nut is very much like the first one, has a rubber O-ring on it. So you see the rubber O-ring there. I'm going to take that, put it to the side, pull this off. The reason I say this is probably an original air filter is that is a green leaping deer. That decal right there ended in 2000. This is a model year 2000 tractor. So that is what happened there. So that's why I think this is original. But I mean, you can see how much grass and dirt. There's a feather right there. All of that was sucked in. That was sucked in the end of the air canister where that ejector boot should have been. So I'm going to set it off to the side. And our last filter is our secondary filter. It is also in with a wing nut. It also looks like our secondary filter has not been changed either. What's really important, on the back of these filters, there's a foam gasket that butts up to the back of the canister, and that is what keeps the dirt and debris out of the engine. You can dust one of these engines very, very quickly without an air filter. I heard a story a while back that you can basically ruin one of these engines in about 10 hours or less, and make it very expensive, or junk the machine, one of the two. So now we're going to take the secondary filter off. I'm sorry for the poor lighting in the garage. There's that foam that I was talking about right there. Make sure you can see it on camera. That foam right there is what butts up against the back of the air canister. Now, for new filters, on the shelf, I actually had a Wix filter, 546437. I'm going to use it since I had it. No reason to go buy another one if I already have this one. Now, this filter came with a washer with a rubber gasket on it. I cannot remember if the Deere filter comes with that or not, but we're going to use it. So stick that on there, like so, and put the wing nut back on. Now chances are, and I'm going to go ahead and test this, yep, that washer is actually kind of tight on that wing nut. And this is just a pain. You have to go so far up these threads. You just sit here and turn it. It's kind of boring. All right. You want to get that nice and tight so that foam on the back of that filter is up against the back of the air canister. Now I'm going to get my new primary filter. This is the filter that I got from Deere. This is part number AM108243. It's interesting. All right. It says, I'm going to pick the camera up and show this to you. It says, this filter requires use of attached fasteners. Do not substitute or replace washer if damaged. Now what's interesting is this is the new style with a new Deere label. And it looks like this foam gasket is actually much thicker than the original. I don't think the original foam gasket was ever that thick, even when it was new. I just don't see it being that thick. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this in there. I'm going to use the new washer that Deere provided. If I can get the sticker off my fingers. So we're going to go ahead and slide that on there, like so. Like I said, I'm going to use the new washer that Deere provided. Ooh, that is quite the lock nut that they have on there. You can tell that's a brand new lock nut on there. This thing is hard to turn. But at the same time, you know it's not going to come loose. Now you do want to make sure that you're somewhat centered on there. With that wing nut. All right. So that's in there really nice and tight. So next, we're going to put the dust ejector boot on. And I'll show you how that works. Let me get it out of the package here. So the dust ejector boot is part number AM89679. Naturally, I broke the package right where it should be. So here's how this works. This ejector boot, you can see it has an opening on it. When the machine is drawing in air, it's going to pull those two lips on that thing closed. And so it's going to close it. Well, then when the engine stops, it releases it. And it's just sitting there, and that allows any particles to fall out. And then when it starts up, it closes up again. That keeps a lot of the big debris out of the air filter. And even if it's drawn in to the air filter through the side panel, then it still falls out when you shut the machine off, or it should fall out. And it reduces the amount of crap that you get in the air filter. And so that's why these ejectors are incredibly important. You know, $12.61 for this thing seems a bit expensive because that's how much it was. But at the same time, you know, I can't imagine not having one. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on, and then we can mount the end of the canister back on the tractor. Oh wait, no, there's one more part. One more part that I forgot. Something that was not here on this tractor anywhere, at least not that I feel. Oh, maybe it is, but it needs to be replaced. No, it's not there. There's an O-ring, this O-ring right here, that goes on the canister. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on there. I'm probably going to shut the camera off since I got to get my head up in there. I don't think you want to stare at the back of my head. And I'll come back and put the rest of the canister on, and we should be good to go. Alright, so I got the O-ring on there. It just fits on the outside of the air canister here. And now we can put the air canister back on, or the end of the canister back on. And we have a nice functioning air system again. Get it nice and tight. So that is how you do the air filters. I wasn't necessarily planning on doing a video of it, but kind of important because you got to have good air. You have to have nice clean air to make the engine run and last a long time. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.